We got the squirrel coming. How you doing, buddy? They like it outdoors here. So what we got this rider that I told you I want to see if we can get a bagger mounted to it. Dawson's got a mowing job and the grass is quite tall. It's the first job we took this to the day I bought it. It mowed well, but it left furrows because, you know, we're mowing 12-inch deep grass. They only want the lawn done every couple weeks, and you know, that's rough on equipment. But if we could bag it, we don't have to rake it, we don't have to mow it several times. So what I got is, when I go to garage sales or I see them on sale somewhere, marketplace or something, I got this one bagger. It's a Craftsman. It looks a little bent on the top here. I'm not sure if it's clicked in. I give like 20 bucks for it. You know, these sell for $4.50 or something. And this mount, I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, this top isn't clicked in there, so probably what I should do is take this right off so that we don't harm anything. Pull this pin out. I got my funny hat on because it's sunny. I don't like my neck burnt. I'm going to pull this out, and there's a spring in there that keeps the lid closed. Let's get that long pin out. There's a pin, a spring, and a sleeve. Get that right out of here. Now, what we got, I'm not sure it's going to work. This was sitting on a pallet out in the edge of the woods there, so it's kind of got leaves and junk on it. Not going to hurt anything. Gonna get full of leaves anyway. So, on the back of this, it's different than the Craftsman a little, is my Craftsman mounts on the sides. It's got a different bracket. This one has 4 holes that are pre-punched but not pre-drilled. And it looks like this may line up on those 4 holes. Like that. And somewhere I have a shouldered bolt kit, but I'm not sure I could find it. This is designed to have shoulder bolts, and what you do when you want to take this off is just grab a hold of it, lift it up an inch, pull the whole thing right off. You don't have to have any tools. That works okay till you back up into a tree or something, and sometimes it'll unhook a little, but it looks like what I should do, let me grab a tape measure. I don't want to scratch a machine if it's not going to work. So I'll measure what we got. I'll go solid number, like 2. So it's 2 3/4 apart, sideways, and it's 3 1/4 vertical. So solid number, 2 3/4 centered, 3 3/4. They're the same plate. So I want to find 4 shouldered bolts to see if I can mount this thing. And let me show you why they got to be shouldered, is they have that system right there. If this was just holes, I'd go ahead and mount this right on. Permanent, you know, but, and this is welded. They're pretty rugged setup, I guess. Wonder why they had a pin in that also if it's welded. But let me see if I can find some shoulder bolts where that can ride on. We got the tiger out here relaxing. Well, I went through my buckets of bolts and I did not find 4 of them. I found 1. And what they are is a bolt with a little shoulder on them and a wider head like a washer, and that would support this bracket. So if you could see this bracket here, I don't know if you can, not really. Hi, squirrel. Yeah, how you doing? It goes in this bracket like that, so you can set it over it and then it clicks in. So I'm trying to think of something else that'll work. And these are self-tapping threads, or I shouldn't say that. You just run the bolt in, it'll make its own thread. Probably more important to have that on the top. I do have some shouldered bolts here. That one fits. That one does. Yeah, they all fit through there. And I'll check behind here, but I don't think there's anything in the way. Yeah, there's nothing back there. So if the bolt's a little longer, it should still work. So let me try to run them in and see if they work. I'll put this proper shouldered bolt, whoops, it's 1/2 inch. Fix it, yep. I'll put the shouldered bolt in that I know it is. That's it. See, they stay right in there. The only problem with these is there's no washer tube on it. So I've got a sleeve here I found in the bucket of bolts. And I could cut this to length. I should measure that and see how long this is. And it's about 1/4 inch. So if I could cut a sleeve that's 1/4 inch, these should run in just fine. But I don't want them to be able to back out, you know. They may stay still. But I think I better put the sleeve on there so that we can crank it right down. So let me figure out if I can cut this neat and what width. And I'll see if I have any other types of sleeves like that. I better do a backup plan in case it doesn't work. What I think I should do before trying to cut this is go ahead and run the bolts in there and see if they actually work. Oh, they go in hard. Maybe they won't vibrate loose. Make sure there's nothing in the way. Like that. I don't know. You're not going to be able to turn them. Maybe it'll work. One's a fine thread. We don't want to use that. And then make sure nothing's in the way. Oh, they go in hard. I don't know. This may work on its own. The other thing is I could put a nut on the back side because there's room enough to get my hand in there. Maybe I don't have to worry about this shoulder because I think that'll be a project in itself. The bagger doesn't weigh that much. Make sure nothing's in the way. Yeah, nothing. Alright. Now, these shoulders are larger than this shoulder, so I'm not sure the bracket's going to go on there easily. Well, let's find out. And it goes up, it sits over. If they won't, it's easy to put them in the grinder, bench grinder, and just round them off a little bit. Top two are on, they're all on. Awesome. A little loose. And I've got my other bagger right here. Let's swing around, look at this one. If we can see it. This one probably a little loose too. This is the newer design, and I bought a 3-bin bagger. Oh yeah, they're loose. I think they have to be loose because, you know, if it's super tight, it's not removable. So we're fine. Let's bring this over. See what we got here. So we got our bracket on. That's exactly what the other one does. And then if we put the seat back, nothing's in the way. Okay, so now let's see if we can assemble this thing. And this is kind of a poor design because you're relying on this thin plastic It's of a heavy 1/8 of an inch, and there's a little tear in this side. I'd probably get my plastic welder out and put a clip on that. Let me do that. Alright, I got my little plastic welding gun here. It's not the bit that I want to use. Let's see. This guy, the little King Ranch logo is what it looks like. Put that in there. Yeah, this was on a pallet and stuff got stacked on it, and it snapped that pin off because that was, I shouldn't say pin, but that little piece of plastic broke there. And we'll plug her in, and all I want to do is secure that together so that the pin can't slide out, you know. So I want to connect this right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to put it in place, heat her up. Should melt right in there. Like that. Let up. This isn't plastic welding, but it's repairing. Alright, so take my snips, cut off the little wires, save my fingers, you know. They come in the kit too. They're cheap now, 20-something dollars for a kit. Okay, so now this is welded together. Let's take that pin, slide it through here. See, that can't come through it. I bent it around when I carried it over here, and it come right through the side, and I was like, no, that isn't gonna work. Okay, so now we have to mount this with a spring in it. Alright, we'll take this housing, bring it up here, start the pin, things are always easier if you had a helper, right? Okay, we started a pin. Now we take the sleeve. Here's our pin. Here's the sleeve, and then this the spring. I would imagine the spring hooks on the edge of that. Let me look on my other bagger here and see if it even has the spring. And it does not have a spring on it. Normally the weight of it would keep it clipped on. It's got a clip that hooks underneath this. So let me see. There's a little paint missing right there. This would have to go through this. Let's look on the top edge. Is there a little paint wore off this? I don't see any paint wore off it. But my guess is we put this down in place. I wouldn't think you'd want this to be pushed closed or held open. I should have looked at that, right? It could be it was held open, but that wouldn't make sense with these lines on it. And if it had that much tension on it, that's a pretty heavy spring. I would imagine it'd want to fly open, and I'd want it held closed. So I am going to put it like this. See if that works. Yeah, because see, that would line up now. There's paint missing for about 3/8 of an inch. So it looks like the spring was riding right there. We'll push more through. And okay, let me get you over here. This makes more sense now. Is, if you're interested, there's a rust mark right there where this spring sits. So it looks like the spring is designed to hold it open while you're emptying the bag. And that spring right there. And then the missing paint is on this edge from there to there. So I think I got it right now. Live and learn. And then we'll put our sleeve on. That probably keeps that spring over there. Put this in place. Let's see if we can get, probably would be easier if I just closed it now. If it will. My pin's in the way. Get my pin brought around there. Technical difficulty. A little bit of pressure twisting it. Probably from not being hooked up for years. Let me get, oh, that makes sense right there. Slide this through. Get this lined up. Like that. I'll get a hammer, tap that across. And then it's got that spring on there, got a little tension now, you know. So this. What is the key here? It's got to be a trick. Came out easier than it's going together, right? What are y'all doing for Memorial Weekend? We got a big car show in town. We got a canoe regatta. We got a little fair. We got a cruise in tonight where all the old classic cars will be in there for free. Oh, it's close. I gotta get this just right. The spring is what's pulling a lot of tension on it. It is so close. It's off by a whisker. Right? I saw it moving. But we like antique cars. When I was growing up, my stepfather started a car show in our local town. And my brother and I used to judge cars. We'd have a list of things we'd have to check, you know, make sure the hood is open so people can see, make sure that all their information is correct, that they don't have a for sale sign, all kinds of things. You know what I just saw? I saw a second spring right here. Check this out. Cool. That would make more sense. One on either side. Maybe it would help straighten this out. And then that spacer go in the middle. I didn't see the spring fall off. So we'll put the same thing just like that. That is neat. I'm glad that didn't go together easy and I had to take it back apart. There. Look at that. Now, get her close to the where she belongs. But on the cars, we used to have fun. We had a 1927 four-door Model T. It had the wrong engine in it when we bought it. And we found the right engine. There, went in, guys. So this spring is on this side, that spring's on that side, the spacer's in the middle. That's what that spacer's for. Now we got our pin. We'll put this in before it falls apart. But on the car, it was black. So a little bit on the, you know, dented, rusty side, a little bit. And it was fully restored. We took it over to an older guy that knew about them. Look at that. and he went through the whole thing, did a frame up. It had restoration on it. Ended up painting it yellow wheels, a maroon body, and black fenders, and it was really pretty. Had the interior all redone, upholstered. It had wooden floor in it. Put new tires on it. The engine was totally rebuilt because it was set up. And I actually drove it in a parade. That was pretty cool. It only went about 45 miles an hour, but that was pretty neat. Now, this center bar is longer by about 2 inches. And that might, yeah, right there. That locks on. No way, we're almost done, guys, with this part. And this operates smooth now. So you just grab this, and that keeps it shut. And it springs up nice. That doesn't have springs on my other one, and sometimes the top comes down, and that's a 3-bin bagger, it's a 2-bin. And sometimes it comes down on me, which isn't a big deal. I just lift it back up. Maybe that spring's a better idea. This has a filter discharge on it. And then this has solid bins instead of bags. Probably why it has to be vented like that. But let me go get a couple buckets. I'll get the 2 double chute and see what parts we got. Okay, how nice that opens. I went out and I looked, and I've got hard bins and soft bins. Now the hard bins are pretty rugged. You can fill them up with anything, but these soft bins, what's nice is you get so much air coming through that pipe that it disperses through the sides, and you don't get a lot of dust or grass clippings coming out the overflow chute there. So I'm going to put these 2 bags in. And now let's work on the chute over here. What we got to do is we got to have one of these to come up to the top, and that goes through this rubber. Here's your spinner. Tells you, you know, if the air is flowing through it, and then once them bags get full, you can't see through the plastic without lifting it. So this thing will stop turning, and you know the bag's pretty full. And this has a little clip on it. And then now we've got to put a bottom chute on, and this has 1, 2, 2.5 clips on it. This one's not on there, but like I said, this is not designed to fit this tractor. So let's see if it will. This is a Craftsman. This is a 42 inch. If you saw our previous video, see, I mowed after we painted that. You can't even tell this was cracked way back into here, I think, about 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches. Can't even tell. It mowed pretty nice. And so we got to take this and see if one of these will mount. And if you see this little line right here, this little bracket sticking up, that's designed to hook into it. So this is definitely not the one, but let's see if the shape is right. Well, actually it'll fit under that. And let's look on the side. Is the whole thing cut? It is. Wow, we got a winner right away. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. The whole chute's covered up. So this might work, and I might want to cut a slot in it so it fits over that, and that'll keep the top from turning. And then I got one more, and this has damage on it. See, there's a cut in it. So if we're able to use this one, I'd have to heat that up and straighten it out, and then bring this down and do those plastic weld clips on that. But it looks to be the same exact part. Same shape opening. And this one has a little notch on the bottom. Let's see if this fits it. my other one's a 46-inch cut. This is a 42. And this that'll fit in there, but something's a little different from what we just tried. Looks like it's more of a square right here, and it's a round. So we can't use this one. I think I had one more somewhere, but I didn't find it. So put this back up here, and while we're looking, there's little clip holes here and here. Those two, and then this little bracket that sticks up. So we probably wouldn't be using this center one. So I could unthread that and put it over here so we got a clip out of it. Or probably simpler just to take this off. Leave it right on there because it won't hurt anything. I just made a phone call and we got 2 lawns to do today. So this bagger is going to be handy. I got to do some maintenance on a house. This will go and pull that way, so I got to go in this way. I got to do some, I don't know, some gutter. I got to inspect the house. The house is going up for sale. I got to get them a list. I think it needs a little bit of roof work. You know, things like that. So while Dawson's up there mowing, I'm going to be doing some other things. So I wanted him to be able to use this tractor because he likes the foot drive on it. Alright, so this is pretty close. And I've used this twice now. And this is faster than the Craftsman. It's easier to drive and it frees up your hand. So let's bring this out and turn and see if this lines up. I'm not sure if all these chutes are the same up here. So, oh, I pulled the gasket out. That's alright. Let's line these all up and see if they're the same. I got 3 of them here. See, I'm a hoarder on a lot of things, including baggers, because I'll show you in a minute. Let me show you right now. I just mowed last night. Come over here and look at that lawn. You'll see no grass clippings, no sticks, no debris. We got shadow right now, but probably in a couple hours when the sun gets up a little ways, it's still early morning, you'll see my lines, down, back, my stripes. But for a rocky, hilly lawn like this, there's no debris and it looks really nice. So when you get on a manicured lawn and you put your lines on it, and especially the ones we're going to go to, they're really tall lawns because they only want them done every couple of weeks, is you got to mow it one direction and mow it the other direction, and sometimes you got to rake. So you tend to start in the center and blow it to the sides, and then you get a furrow like you're haying. And the bagger in that case would take care of that. I know the grass clippings are good for the lawn for the nitrogen, but if you want a manicured lawn, get them off in there. Plus you're only mowing the lawn once, you know. You're not going multiple directions. Alright, the difference on this, see, we got a long curve chute, a short chute. This curve is different. This one looks like it matches this one. It does. So we'll put this one aside. And then now we got a choice. I think we didn't try this one yet. And that just goes in these grooves. It's just a split gasket. I don't know if Dawson knows I'm putting one of these baggers on here, but he'll probably be excited about it because he really likes to do nice lines. We tried this one. We didn't try this one. Let's see which one fits in there. This opening has a big lip on it. I bet it's this one. It's got to go through that gasket, yeah, like that. And then we'll go ahead and put this on here. Remember, they've been sitting on a pallet, so they're not like super awesome shapes or anything because stuff was packed on them. And then this clip goes on here, and once it's on, it'll stay on there like that. That locks them too. We're inside. Now we'll bring it down and see what length we are here. Wow, it's close. Really close. That goes like that. I think we got a winner. I don't want any deck showing so that we don't get any grass clippings to blow out. Let me grab a white marker and I'll mark that slot so we can hook it over it. Alright, I got a marker. I probably should pull this up. You can pull the pin and take it right off in there, but I don't want to because all you got to do is pull them two clips, lift the unit up, and the whole thing's off in there in like 15 seconds, and so you're right back to mowing. I don't want to bolt anything. I don't want to take anything apart. I just want to put her on and work. So I think what I'll do, I got one of these Sharpie paint, what do they call it? Paint. I guess it's just a paint marker. I keep one in the truck. Let's see here. Slide that forward to clear. Get that all the way forward. Like that. Get it in all the way. And then I can put my mark right there. Now we'll use a, I don't know, some kind of tool. We'll find some kind of tool. And we'll cut this slot. I'll probably cut it a little bit straighter than that. Probably things pushing out on me. Probably cut it straighter than that. But I'll make a slot. That's pretty heavy. It's over 1/8 of an inch. So I'll make it just a hair longer and a hair wider. Probably I'll do this and come in just a hair farther. Square this out a little better. Like that. Let me get something like a little Dremel or something to get that out of there. We'll cut that out. We'll be in business. Well, I got the air hose out here to top off these tires. The front ones only had like 2 pounds in them. I thought they were a little soft. I noticed when I turned that it like wanted to roll like, and I was like, something don't feel right. So let's use this air. I got this old cutoff. See if it works. It's a Mac. I've had it a long time. Wow, that's powerful. What I want to do is make a cut in this. Hopefully it's not going to get carried away and do something crazy on us. There. Try to stay in my line. More or less melting it. Working. Yeah, it's working. It's just about right. So I don't have to do anything with that. Let's see if it fits. That's going to have pressure pushing out all the time. So let me get something. What I usually do with these chutes is I find something like this to hook to. Not the pedal, not get in the way of the pedal. And on the reverser, that shouldn't be in the way. So if I put it right here and this came up, I could drill a little hole like here. I don't know if I want it on the top, maybe the side. And wire that up with a piece of like copper wire. So let me get a drill bit because there's nothing else to hook to. You could do a bungee or something, but bungee will fall off. Drill a little hole that won't affect anything, and then get a piece of wire. I'm going to grab the drill. Got a piece of electrical wire. It's a 12-2, and it's black, so it's not going to be real visible. And what I like to do, like I said, is go around like something like this, and that won't scratch anything, and it won't get in the way of the pedal. And if this is held up all the way, then what's going to happen is it's going to jiggle that deck up and down, and it's going to want to wear on the paint here. So I don't want it up all the way. I'll let it relax when I knot it. And when this thing comes down, it's got about, it goes all the way up here. So it's got 3 inches of cover. Maybe I want to put it down on this front edge like that. I don't know. I might put too much pressure on the front of this. And if I move it to back here, this is going to be up pretty high, but that would work. I was hoping to put it where it would look the best. I don't know. It's in the details, right? Who cares? It's in the details. But if I held it here, obviously it's in the center, and it's not going to want to pull and try to tear this plastic after a while. And if I pull on the front, it's going to want to touch here, and it's about 2 inches here. So definitely got to do something toward, yeah, toward the center. So we're going to have to come back up there. And the other thing is, if it's a foot drive, you don't want your foot rubbing on it. So I think I'm going to be drilling way out here, which isn't going to hurt a thing. All we got to do. Not sure if the wire is going to be long enough, but we'll find out. We probably ought to put the tie way back up there so that we don't have it near your leg or anything. We could go through, back around, or I could tie down here. Maybe I better do that. I'll tie down here. It'll be easy to take this off. It's in the details, you know. Do a little loop. I use electrical wire for a lot of stuff. That copper bends nice, and it comes off nice, and you don't need a tool for it. See, we could do just something like this. Get this to the rear. I don't know. To me, it's important to have a bagger because I think it's going to save us time. You do have to stop and empty the bags, but you can run over pine cones, which this house has. Dawson, I don't know if he posted it, but he videoed a little bit of that lawn when we did it the first time, and it was really tall. It was up to here. Tractor was super clean, and that kind of got pretty green grass. We'll fold this over, go back under, bring it up, yeah, like that. Always bend the end of your wire over so you don't get poked, you know. There, that'll take the pressure off it, and then let's see if I made a nice cut in that or not. See if it lines up to a hole. Get up out of the way first. Oh, look at that. See, that stays right on there with that clip in there. So, put the front one on, push that down, stretch our clip, put it in that hole, bring this around, and put this clip in this back hole, right in there. Look at that. And then this isn't pushing it out so far, you know. And then this should come down and turn, line her up, put our snap clip on. Let's see if this thing's gonna work. It's not perfect, but I wonder what this center clip is supposed to hook to. If this bolt, it's a double-edged deck right here on this edge. There's another sheet of metal under here. There's a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there. I wonder if I had a little eye hook here where you could hook it on. Or I'll grab another one of these clips. Maybe I drill a hole right there. Pretty thick metal. Get a decent sized bit. But it looks pretty good. Maybe we can run over and test this first before I make a decision. Let's go in the yard and try it. We won't get much grass clippings because I just mowed. Alright, I'm going to put my mower deck on 3, which is lower than I normally would, only because I don't think we're going to pick up much grass clippings. Let's give this a test and see how it does. I'll go down and back a couple of times. Like I said, that's lower than I normally would mow. So you just flip your seat forward, you take your chute, lift this clip. Oh, look at this, guys. Normally the chute blows to this side first. You see that? It blows over there. It fills this bin, then the overflow goes over there. Any extra air will come out through here. And then if you don't have this filter in place, you'll get leaves and stuff. By having these bags, the air goes through them. So most everything should go in there. You see this? I only went 6 passes. I've got all this clippings in here. I'm going to dump it in a pile and I'm going to pick this up. But watch this. Look how much we got in that short period of time. That's how come I like a bagger. And there's probably a little seed in there. There's going to be some dandelion. You name it. But if we can use this for mulch, this breaks down and turns into soil in a couple years. So I think this is going to work great. I think it's going to be awesome. The pile of grass is right here. Six little tries, about, I don't know, 70 feet long. Look at all that. There's almost a 5-gallon bucket of it. And so this will pick up twigs. You know, grind them a little bit, throw a twig in there, pine cones, you name it. I think this is going to be awesome addition to this. And I think I got $20 invested. So check it out. I think we're going to be pleased to save in time and then raking. I'd probably end up mowing on a 4 or 5 number, because as it dries out, you know, in the summer months, you don't want to cut your grasses short. You want to keep it a minimum of 1.5 inches, 2.5. And right now, at number 3, I think it's only 1.5 inches, and that's pretty short. I just did it for test purposes. But, well, like I said, we added this to our fleet. It looks like it's going to work great. Dawson's going to let me know how he likes it. When he wants to take it off, all he's got to do is pull those 2 pins, pull that pin, take that whole chute assembly out, lift the thing up and set it down. I think it takes about 30 seconds. Can leave the chute up when the grass is real deep. Not real safe because the blade is visible. I'm surprised they build them like that. But it allows the grass to come out and not do a furrow. And then he can just unhook the wire, be done with it. So thanks for watching. We got some lawns to mow.